It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and this is our hour to talk taxes. And we're here in the Financial Super Forum at the Millennium Hotel, and we're just having a great time. And if you're out and about and you want to come see us, we have a live studio audience, and we'd love you to stop in and say hi. I'm joined in studio with Tiffany Fabian.
Hey there, Esther.
And Chris. I was calling you Tiffany too.
Yeah.
And we all got purple on today, and we don't know how we did that. We all got dressed in different rooms, but we had such a great time with so many great people. And for our live studio audience, if you guys have any questions, you can come up and where's the mic? How do they do that? Over there. We'd love to have you on air. If you have any questions, and if you have any questions, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we usually have a subject all the time, and so this week we thought we'd talk about small businesses as an intro, and then debt cancellation. So if you have a small business and you are a C Corp and you know what I'm talking about, should they look, would you say out of hand they should look at that?
Oh, they should just leave it alone. Come on.
Yeah, they should look at it. But before I forget to say, also we have another seminar coming up January 21st, and that's with Russ Gullo. He's a property navigator, and he can help exchange.
You can sell, especially with all the rental property in Buffalo.
Yep.
If you have rental property and you want to get out of paying the taxes, at least defer them, if you go to Russ Gullo's seminar, you will learn how to do an exchange.
Yep.
And that's another great thing.
And you'll get to see us.
And with the property values in Buffalo, it is remarkable to see all the great things happening in Western New York. I was listening this morning to Hunt Real Estate on WBEN, and they were talking about all the things happening on the waterfront, and it's great. And again, we're at the Financial Super Forum. We had all these people here today. It was so fun.
It was.
Yep.
So
and
Chris should, sorry.
Wait, just also open enrollment for healthcare started October 15th. So if you need health insurance, we're there to help you. We have a lot of navigators on staff now that can help assist, because it's going up, like we've heard, drastically to make the right decision.
And just to build on that, Chris, the other day we had a meeting at the office, and we were going over our health insurance.
That's right.
And the looking at all these options becomes a real daunting thing. If you're somebody that has ongoing prescriptions, you might want a better prescription coverage. If you're somebody that doesn't go to the doctor, you wouldn't care so much if you have a high deductible. People don't know about HSAs and all that kind of stuff, and that's part of what we do at EG Tax. We want to help you.
We give you the options, no matter for taxes or for health insurance.
Our health insurance has like a $1,000 warmer upper. So before you even touch your deductible, they'll toss in $1,000 of money that they'll give you before you reach your deductible. And so these are things that Chris and I sort of learned haphazardly, and so that's not the way you want to do it.
Oh, you mean like
you want to go in with full knowledge.
Right.
You want to go in with full knowledge.
I'm Esther Gulius, the Tax Lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 cell phone. We're at the 2016 Financial Super Forum at the Millennium Hotel here right next by the Galleria Mall. If you're in the area, stop in. We'd love to hear what you have. Any of you guys in the studio audience want to ask a question, we'd love to have you become part of the show, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Now, we have Mike from Blaisdell that's been holding. Hey, Mike, how can we help you?
Yes, I had a question regarding required minimum deposits. I turned 70 in March of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand I can take both of those, or I can take that minimum deposit. Instead of taking it this year, I can take it up next year up till April. Is that correct?
Right. So you have a choice.
Right. You can take it now, the year you turn 70 and a half, or you can take your first distribution up to April 1st of the following year. But if you do that, you then have to take out your second distribution by December 31st. So you would have to take 2 distributions out the following year.
So really, Mike, what you would look at is like what's your income look like this year?
Yes, that's.
I mean, do you have a large pension? Is there, and did you have sale of property, something that would have boosted your income this year?
Yes, there's. My wife's father died and left the house to his family, and the house is almost ready to be sold. It's not going to be a big sale, but there will be some money coming to the family.
Let me ask this, Mike. Was the house gifted to the children prior to the
No.
to the
No. It was
so
just-
the kids inherited it through the estate, right?
That's right.
So that means there's going to be no tax consequences.
Okay, there is no tax consequence.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you have to put it on the Schedule D. You're going to get a stepped-up basis, and so you have to report it, but it's not going to be a taxable event.
Okay. And then on the required minimum deposits, do both of those deposits next year come from the balance as of 2016? Because one
It'll be as of 12/31/16.
16.
Right.
and the one in April also as of
Right.
31,
12/31/16.
both of them. Okay.
Yep.
Great. All right, that answers
Okay.
the question.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks for calling. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, here at the 2016 Financial Super Forum put on by the Financial Guys. We had just a great time today, didn't
Oh,
we?
we had so much fun. There were lots of people. One of the biggest forums was the healthcare information session where it was just a packed house, and so you can.
Well, you can see people are really. How many of you guys are concerned about healthcare? I mean, are you good? Everything's good where you guys are? My husband's concerned. You're good, Bill. You're good. But, it really is, when you take a look at all the options, it's so hard to read what all the options are.
Yep.
Right. People might think, oh, platinum, that's the best. It might be the best thing for me.
But it
may
isn't
not be.
necessarily.
You may just only need a silver. You could be costing yourself money by paying the extra for the platinum instead of the silver.
Okay, so going back to our little small business thing, if you are a C Corp, that means a C Corp. The reason a C Corp you should really take a look at and probably move out of, and how hard is it to move out of a C Corp?
Very
forms.
easy.
2 forms.
2 forms.
A 2553 and a
CT6.
CT6.
Yep.
And that's it. And so if you have a C corporation, unless you have a lot of investors or you have foreign corporations that are a shareholder, then, or if you have to have an unapproved for fiscal year, then you should make the election and become an S Corp. Why? What happens on a C Corp?
Well, a C Corp, that's the term where you get the term double taxation. Because a C Corp, say they have a net profit of $50,000. The C Corp's going to pay tax on that $50,000. But
At a not happy rate. too,
correct,
right?
at a very high rate. But then the owner of the C corporation says, well, I want my money. And he writes himself a check. Well, that's considered a dividend. So it's not a subtraction from the $50,000. So that net profit stays at $50,000. And he writes him a check for $30,000. He's going to pay tax on that $30,000 also that the C corporation already
paid
did.
taxes.
I have a client who's like that, and when they come in and they have these huge dividends checks, they just about cry, and I cry. We all
So
cry.
why don't you move them to an S Corp?
Chris has talked to them, and I don't know what their logic is.
I think they were going to have to close up that corporation for some reason and start a new one, and they were a little leery because of how the old laws were, how the old corporation was written. They couldn't just automatically.
Well, I will tell you, if you are a C Corp,
And
you
you
should
can.
look at moving to an S Corp. The other thing is if you're self-employed, what you ought to do this afternoon is go to bizfilings.com or LegalZoom and become a what?
Lisa LLC.
LLC.
Yeah, because you want to protect those assets. Because if you don't, the whole kit and caboodle is up to your
and
house and your
because
car. And
if you don't do an LLC, then only the assets on that business could be sued. And let's face it, are there a lot of lawyers and are they suing? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, so, but
And
but
that's so
provided
easy.
you aren't doing something illegal or unethical.
And I can tell you, like, if you come in and see Chris or Maria or Tiff and we make you an LLC, we only charge what biz filing charges you. So
well, we don't charge them anything.
we don't charge you anything, but we could walk you through it. And so
Right.
you'll
But if you're an LLC, the only assets that can be sued for is the assets in the company.
Yep.
So if you're a small business, if you have rental property and you have other assets that you really don't feel like forking over in the event of a lawsuit, you should become an LLC, and if you need help with that, EG Tax will help you.
Definitely.
Right?
Yep.
I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with your questions after the break. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And how about what happened yesterday? Okay, I'll talk to you on the other side. 8030930, and we have one of our wonderful people that are in our audience is going to pick up the mic. And yes, what can we help you with?
Hi, my name's Michelle, and I'm with a company or an organization called Equistar Inc. We're a horseback riding center and specializes in the need of assisting the disabled and the handicapped with horseback riding, therapeutic riding. It's a wonderful facility.
It's wonderful. Horseback riding is wonderful. Anyway, my sister used to volunteer for out in Colorado, an organization like yours. And I used to have 5 horses.
Yep.
And I used to teach horseback riding.
Oh.
Yeehaw!
They are wonderful.
They
So
are
how can we
wonderful.
help you?
Well, the reason I'm here, actually, I attended the seminar. Absolutely fantastic. The speakers were great, and everybody here is professional, and it's so beneficial. So,
Oh, that's great.
but our organization, Equistar, we're in desperate need of some funding. We're a 501c3 organization.
That means it's tax deductible.
It's tax deductible, everybody.
And that means if you donate to it, you get to take it on your Schedule
Right.
A.
That's
you know.
exactly right. Great time of year to do it, end of the year taxes and all
That's
that
right.
fun stuff. So we are in
So
desperate
what
need.
kind? You just need money.
We
right?
need actually hay money because of the drought this year. We had a very bad season for hay. There wasn't a second cutting, so it made the hay
So expensive.
so expensive. The horses actually didn't have the grass to eat because of the drought. The grass didn't grow.
Yeah.
So we're already going through more
so,
than half
so
of
where
our winter.
we would go to Equistar.com?
We would actually go to equistartheranch.org. It's
okay.
www.
EQUISTAR the ranch
theranch.org.
.org, and they can make a contribution online.
We do have a PayPal on there as well. You can make a contribution online.
Well, that's a wonderful thing.
But keep us going. We're helping the veterans. We're expanding the program to help veterans, the handicapped, and everyone benefits from this. And we're always
That's
in need
wonderful.
of volunteers. It's a
You're
fantastic
in
organization.
Burt, New York, right?
I am absolutely so proud to be a part of it.
Oh,
That's
that's great.
great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me.
All right, now,
And she brings up a good point
Right.
about fourth quarter, Esther, donating. But I
right,
stepped
I
on
mean,
you.
and let's face it, it's tax deductible, right? So, and it's such a wonderful opportunity to help people. And it's really interesting about horses. They can kill you, but they are really wonderful.
Oh.
I know my husband broke his leg. I broke my arm. But
Didn't he get stompled on or close to it?
well,
by?
he did, but that was because we were stupid. Stupid
Well, they're-
horse people are one thing, but then smart people,
I
horse
think
people
they're
are another.
gentle giants.
They are.
They're gentle giants. They just, and when you see
Well, and
them,
I had younger horses. I'm sure that you don't have a bunch of young horses, right? Because they would never. If you don't have young horses, you have the older horses who are like
More
broken,
You know,
like
and
yeah.
And the work she does, if you've seen it, I know my wife was talking to her. It's like the video on Facebook where the disabled children can come and have a ride. And
Yeah, so your horses are well
Our
broken.
horses are well broken.
So what if
6 of our
somebody
horses,
has a relative that would like to avail themselves of your
Services.
they can
services?
contact the ranch.
So Equistar Inc.
Equistar Inc.
Right?
Equistartheranch.org. We are open. They have classes through the end of December, but they're like 6-week sessions. But the benefits from this, you can see
Or
that
they move your muscles
they
and
move
everything.
your muscles,
oh, that's
your
for
core.
Sure. Yeah.
They have to communicate, and not only that, they're actually learning things when they have to. They have they have lessons where they have to think and actually
Direct the
horses.
That's
so
great.
They're communicating with the horse. They're exercising their core and muscles they wouldn't normally
Oh, that
use.
is so good.
And it's the closest. The horse's gait is the closest to walking.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's at a phenomenal,
Oh, that's so
phenomenal
great.
spot.
Awesome.
So, but
I think that's the last time I was skinny was when I rode a horse. But anyway, thank you so much.
thank you very
I'm
much.
Esther Golias, the tax lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. And we are here at the Financial Super Forum at the Millennium Hotel. Okay, we want to talk about tax planning for your business. Do you know what your net profit looks like right now? I bet you small businesses have no idea.
Nope.
Well, it's so funny. There was a client of mine, and he was thinking of acquiring another business that was similar to his business. And you called, and I called, and you said the most important thing is you have to know what their net profit is. Because how can that person who wanted to acquire the other business make a equitable decision if they don't know what the net profit is of that business? So you said the first question is, before you want to acquire that business, is find out what their bottom line is like.
Right. I mean, and so the problem with small businesses is they could be great at widget sales. They can be good at manufacturing. They can be good at running a hotel. But are they good at numbers? And that can be so daunting. So do you know what you, and I will just challenge you, if you have a small business, do your numbers tonight.
Right. I mean, isn't that one of the greatest fails of a small business is they don't know where they stand during the year. They always wait for tax time, and that it's too late. You know, we just had the lovely lady here talk about horses, but if you don't know how much you're paying for the hay on a year like this,
That's right.
or the fee,
She probably just knows we don't have any money to pay for hay.
But
That's why she's here.
You always got to, I don't want to say penny pinch, but you got to watch the numbers. You got to watch where you're spending it, and that's where a lot of businesses fail.
And that's the other thing is if you're a business owner, you can become emotionally attached with your staff, and nobody wants to get rid of staff, but you got to look realistically at what you're spending money, and so, modify. And many times it just means sometimes it means calling your cell phone provider and saying, hey, you guys are really expensive. You'd be surprised what they come up with when you say you're going to cancel.
That's right.
Yep. I mean, and you were talking about your employees and being generous and being nice to them, but the new pay law that's coming into effect in almost a month.
All right, now listen, people, if you have salaried employees, you must, as of December the 13th, December the 1st, you must pay them
$913
a week.
Yep.
You must. So if you've been paying a manager $700 a week, you must give them a raise to $913 a week.
And then salary people have to be paid overtime.
Okay. Now, salary people don't have to be paid overtime if they fit into one of three categories. Okay. If they are administrative, that means they're managing at least 2 full-time people and 4 part-time people. Executive, that means the people that run the joint, right? Or professional, so they are an attorney, a CPA, a doctor.
Okay.
And that's it. If they fall into those 3 categories and you're paying them $913 a week, you don't have to pay them overtime. But if they don't, you have to pay them $913 a week plus overtime.
Right. So the manager at a McDonald's, let's throw McDonald's out there. They would have to, if their managers work 55 hours a week, they would have to pay them $913 a salary
plus overtime.
15 hours of
overtime,
equivalent to that $913 at an
exactly
hourly
right.
rate.
And if not, they have violated the owner of the business has violated federal statute.
Yep.
And so they can be fined. And so this is so important. This is effective December the 1st, and I think that's one of the great things about people listening to our radio show is they know that what needs to be done. And if you need help, you can call EG Tax and we'll help you to work it out.
Right, and we were told that the Department of Labor over the next 2 years is going to be investigating most businesses. So do you want to take the chance and not do it And then your penalty, I believe, is 50% of what you didn't pay.
No, sir.
Well, that doesn't sound very good. And penalties are not deductible.
And penalties are not deductible.
Because you should have done the right thing.
Yep.
Somebody said a business expense. I was driving there and I got a speeding ticket. Can I write it off? I said, no, you shouldn't have been breaking the law,
That's
right?
exactly right. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. Okay, now, if you are a small business, look at changing to an S Corp. If you're incorporated, make sure if you're a sole proprietor, you at least are an LLC. And is that hard to do?
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. I mean, you should look at yourself in the mirror and say, shame on you. And thirdly, if you have salaried employees working for you, and by the way, if you got people that are working under the table, hello.
Stop it.
Hello. You got to stop it.
Right.
All right? But remember, all salaried employees have to be paid at least $9.13 a week starting December the 1st. And if you have looked at your numbers and you have a nice net profit this year, what should you do at year end?
Well, it's fourth quarter. Now is the time to look at your equipment and see if any of it's outdated, to see if you need any new equipment, to see if you need any advances. You know, talk to your IT department, talk to your staff. They're going to let you know, geez, I was just talking to you the other day and we need a new scanner. And so now is the time to take a fresh set and look at your stuff and ask your staff.
And there's a change in the law, we just talked about it the other day, where you can make an election, so something that would have been depreciable, you can actually elect to expense. Right?
Right.
That's
Yep.
right.
There's up to a $2,500 you can take now for items up to $2,500. You can expense it, not $179. It just expense it. So for rental properties, that's big for rental properties right now.
Big deal.
And before I forget, next week we have on Tim Eliason speaking about healthcare, and it's the open enrollment. We have Tim Eliason and somebody from
Sheridan Benefits
also. So next week, stay tuned.
So come with your health questions. So again, if you're a small business owner and you want to cut your tax liability, buy assets now, not in January. Don't buy them if you don't need them.
Right.
But if you need them, buy them. And again, you can make an election and expense them.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
All right. Let's, I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break for news. We got your phone calls on the other side. 803-0930. 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're live here at the Financial Super Forum at the Millennium in right next by the Galleria Mall. Join us if you'd like to see us before 5 o'clock. I'm Esther Gullius. See you on the other side.
Oh, you're going to say that's a nice song.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the sun.
Yeah, we're hoping.
If you're going to Florida, here comes the sun. If you're in Western New York, here comes the snow.
Here comes the gray. As
I'm
my
Esther
wife calls
Gullius,
it.
the tax lady, 803-0930, 803-0930. We're here live at the 2016 Financial Super Forum with financial guys. And if you guys have any questions, we have like a live studio audience. You want to ask a question? Come on up. We're all set for you. Don't you want to be famous?
Infamous.
Infamous, yeah. Again, we were talking taxes. I got Tiffany Fabian, Christopher Fabian here. We were talking about IRS planning. The IRS is going on, is aggressively going after non-filers. That
Right.
was announced this week. So if you're afraid to file because you owe money, that's not a good thing because people think that they owe money, and many times they're getting refunds.
No,
and if the IRS hasn't written you and you haven't filed, that usually means you got a refund
That's
coming,
right. Exactly.
and they're going to keep it.
Yep.
There's
Yep.
somebody taking one of my tax classes, and in the morning class, he's a great student, phenomenal. He used to be an engineer, and he hasn't filed for 7 years. So I said, after class on Thursday, you are coming back to the office with me, and we're filing. And so we have started the process.
And sometimes it ends up to be a psychological thing where you just can't do it.
Right.
You know, I mean, like me, I can remember when I was like 20, I didn't want to go to the dentist, and I don't think I went to the dentist till I was 25. And so that was not good. So when finally I went to the dentist came and got me.
Aw, see?
They were wonderful. And ever since then, I've been going to the dentist,
Yep.
which is great. But sometimes you get that thing in your head. Let's go to the phones. Christopher, who do we got here?
We have Harry from Lancaster.
Hey, Harry, how can we help you?
Hello, may I call you Esther?
Yeah.
I would love you to call me Esther.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
No. Call me
her
Esther. What? Call me anything.
Okay, thank you very much. Esther, under the provision for payable upon death, I have my money market account, checking account, and IRA account going to my daughter.
Okay.
Like I said, payable upon death. I just want to make sure that those funds will not be taxed just as if it was under my...
Okay. Just because you have it payable on death as a beneficiary doesn't mean it's non-taxable.
Is that right?
So when you have money in an IRA, and it's a traditional IRA, payable on death means it's going to your daughter as the beneficiary, but that will be taxable to her.
Not the money in the checking.
Not the money in the checking account, not the money in the bank account, but any money in an annuity, any money in an IRA, any money in a pension plan. It means it's going to go to her, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be taxable.
And she has 3 options when that day arises, okay? Hopefully not for a while. She can take the money all out at once and pay tax on it all at once. She can take it out over 5 years, or she can start annuitizing it over the rest of her life, meaning she'll get like
a little bit a year.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. But just because it's payable on death and she's the beneficiary doesn't mean it won't be taxable.
But if it was willed to her as beneficiary...
Doesn't matter. An IRA doesn't matter.
There are some things, Harry, that are when they're inherited that have already paid taxes on, like the capital in your savings account. When you get that, that's tax-free. If somebody inherits your house that goes through the estate, they have a stepped-up basis. It'll end up being tax-free. If somebody has stocks that goes to their beneficiary, then and they're going to get a stepped-up basis, ultimately that'll be tax-free. But when you have an IRA that nobody paid taxes on, when it goes to the beneficiary, it goes outside of probate, but it's still taxable.
Okay, but the money market and check...
The money market's good. It's already been taxed.
Those... Okay, she can accept that without paying taxes on it.
That's correct.
Okay, it's just the IRA.
The IRA.
Okay,
right.
I understand. That was my thought, and I know I understood she had to pay income taxes under the on the IRA because no taxes have been paid.
That's exactly.
And now I did that so she wouldn't have to pay probate fees on any money.
And that's so wise. I will tell you, anyone listening that doesn't have their beneficiary nailed down on their IRAs or their pensions, you are really doing your heirs a disservice because they'll have to take the whole thing and make it taxable in the year that they inherit it. So go to your financial institution and make sure you have a beneficiary.
And don't forget, Harry, she'll get to back off $20,000 out of the state. Don't forget about that.
Okay? All right. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. Okay, Chris, let's see. Let's try to...
Jim.
Hey, Jim, I'm Esther Golias. How can I help you? I think I just locked it.
Talk
Yes, sir.
about LLCs, and the question I have is I have like 8 rental properties.
Yeah.
I used to carry umbrella insurance.
Okay.
But I've been hearing about the LLC. Now, do I have to pay for the deed to change the deed over to my name, to the business name, the LLC name, on top of whatever the cost is for the LLC?
I have to tell you, I'm not sure. I don't think so, but I would check with your attorney to double check to make sure. I think the LLC is strictly something that the state of New York It would be the person, it would be the entity that says, yes, you're a limited liability company, but double check with your attorney. But I will tell you, it is worth it to do it.
Yeah,
long term.
because Esther mentioned, sorry, Chris, during the seminar today, lead paint is a problem. And so if you had it under the umbrella of a LLC, there's many things that would protect you. So it's a good venue. Chris, you started to say
Right,
something.
and I was going to say, if you have 8 rental properties, you may want to look at, I'd hate to say it, 3 or 4 different LLCs, because if you lump all the rental properties in one, and if something happens at property A, all the other 7 could be gone. So you got to look to protect.
I mean, it really is what you need to do in today's society. The way life was 30 years ago, it's not the way it is now. And to protect yourself, I would absolutely recommend an LLC.
All right, well, I'll give you a call on Monday. And,
All right, Jim.
Jim, while I got you on, Chris, talk to him about the depreciation for rental owners.
Right, don't forget, like we mentioned earlier, there's a new law that you can now, anything under $2,500, take that expense. So if you bought a new water heater for $300, instead of depreciating that for 7 years, you now can write that off all in 1 year.
Absolutely.
Oh, one time? Okay.
All right.
All
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for calling. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, 803-0930, star 930 cell phone. Any of my lovely crowd want to ask a question? Come on up. All right. Here he comes in his red shirt.
He didn't get the purple memo.
You can change your name if you would like.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Esther. Thank you for meeting you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I've been meaning to amend my 2013 tax forms because I had an insurance rollover. I sold one insurance policy, bought another one, and I got $60,000 in dividends or whatever,
But you rolled it
premium,
over,
right.
so it should have been tax-free.
I haven't reported it, and obviously that cancels out. The question is, I still haven't got a nasty letter from the insurance or from the IRA yet. So should I let old dogs lay and not amend it?
Okay, so here's what the law says. The law says that the statute of limitations is 3 years, okay? Or 2 years from when the liability is paid, whichever is later. So if they were to come up with the liability now, and they were to say, Mr. Guy in the red shirt, you owe $10,000. And then you kind of toddle in and say, do I really owe this? And we say, no, we can do an amended return because that year is still open. So I'm assuming it's coded a 6.
Right. Did you get a 1099?
Did you get a 10?
Yes,
it
I
was
did.
probably coded a 6, which leads me to believe that they knew that it was a rollover, and they just haven't sent you the memo. But if you ever do get the bill, we'll take care of you.
Okay. Could they come back at me after the 3-year period
No.
where I can't adjust it? No.
No.
Thank you, Esther.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're here at the Millennium Hotel Financial Super Forum by the financial guys they put on. We have been having a great time. We have a live studio audience. Anybody wants to say anything, we'd love to have you, because we can't see you in Radio Land. But for the rest of you, let's see. Who do we have here?
We got Dave from Niagara Falls.
All right, Dave. Hey, Dave. How can we help you?
Esther, I got a serious problem here, and it really bothers the hell out of me. My granddaughter, I went out and I bought her a car for school, and everything was fine. But then her other friends went out and had these Jeep wagons, right? She wanted a Jeep wagon in a worse way, an SUV and everything else. Anyways, to make a long story short, I said, man, you got yourself a new car already. It's low mileage. What are you doing? She goes on out behind my back, and she went to a large, reputable dealer here in Buffalo and bought this Jeep. Her payments on this thing are $475 a year. She's going to school, and plus she's working. They cut her hours. It's less than full-time now. Her payments on this vehicle are $475 a month, plus the insurance. She's completely strapped over here. I talked to my attorney. My attorney says the best thing she could do right now is just let him have the car back, and the hell with it. I said, man, that would destroy her credit. I said, she's a young girl. Look, will she be able to write off this interest for the first? In fact, she didn't take a 5-year. They really hustled her at this dealership here. She's got a 6-year payment plan on this.
Okay,
Dave,
hang on.
Unbelievable.
Hang on for a sec. All right, so tell me this. How much was the equity in the car that she traded in?
She didn't trade it in. She didn't trade it in. I got so mad because they weren't.
Where is the car that you gave her?
What's that?
Where's the car you gave her?
I got it in my garage. I'm keeping it just in case something backfires.
Okay, so she's got, how old is she?
She's 19 years old.
Okay. Well, I mean, what she could do is just bring it back. I mean, quit making payments on it, and it would really hurt her credit. That would be not so good.
And then
she could bring it to another dealer, trade it in with your car, and see what kind of a trade-in they can get, and get a less expensive car. And maybe the new dealer would give her a good.
And his question
trade-in.
was, could she deduct the interest? And the answer
interest is
no.
not deductible.
No, Dave.
No.
I mean, another
I paid
thing.
for it cash.
Yeah, but that was your car.
Yeah.
But her car, you didn't pay for cash.
What's that?
Your car, you didn't. Her car, you didn't pay for cash.
No, she went out and did it behind my
Yeah.
car.
So what I would do is I'd go to the dealer and I say I got car A and car B. Car B is completely paid for. Car A is not worth. It's got a depreciated value. I would see what they'd put together for a deal for me on one good car.
Well, it's a shame because the car that I bought her, it's beautiful. It's low.
I know, but you know what? I have grandchildren too, and I wish brains came with teenagers, but they don't seem
No, I
to.
just didn't believe this. I thought you had to be 21 years old in order to go
Get
to
a
a
loan.
ship. She went out. She was 19 years old, and they let her sign her name.
Well, I'm not sure legally if it would be binding. Have you talked to your attorney?
Yes, I did. They says nope. As long as the person's got a
Well, what is her interest rate?
license.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Dave,
What's her interest rate?
I don't know. She's not even talking about it, but I do know that she is completely broke. And
Well, you know what I would do is I would bring the Jeep and your car in and see what a dealer would do and get you into another car that would be less expensive, and that's what
let
I
me
would
ask
do.
this before you go. I know you're extremely busy, and I listen to you religiously. Would she be able to write off the interest on this car?
No, Dave, it's not deductible.
It's not deductible?
Nope, because it's personal. Interest on a personal car is not deductible. Only interest on a primary mortgage, secondary mortgage is going to be deductible. Home equity credit line, but credit card interest and
loan.
consumer debt is not deductible unless it's through a business.
And then, Dave, I want to say that that's a viable option. Her letting go of the car. I mean, how many years is your credit usually bad for?
Like 7 years. I mean.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. She could just take a hit on her credit.
I mean, it's a viable
and maybe learn a
option.
lesson. Some of the best lessons I ever learned, and I'm sure everybody else would agree, are the ones that really hurt. Right?
Oh man,
Them's the best lessons.
me. It's hurting me. I just.
Oh, I know because you love her. I love my grandkids too, but sometimes it's just as good to let them.
I mean, she's.
Let them. They shot themselves in the foot. What you
laugh.
are doing is you're going to enable her if you handle it If you rescue her, she hasn't lost I'm going to ask she hasn't learned a thing, right? If he rescues her, right?
I can tell you, I was laughing because one of Esther's granddaughters wanted a Jeep. She wanted a Jeep, but I don't think she got a Jeep.
Nope, she didn't get a Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Esther. So, Dave, that's what I would do. I think you have to let the cards play out the way it's going to play out.
Oh, it's a heartbreaking deal. Well,
I know. I love them too.
oh, it's unbelievable.
I know. You'd love it all to work out your way, but what are you going to do?
Look at Esther. Man.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 937, and we got Ellie from Clarence. Hello, Ellie. Or are you L?
Pardon?
Are you L or Ellie?
Ellie.
Ellie.
Hi.
Okay.
Well,
How
my
can we help you?
Question is, okay, I understand you have or did I hear you say you have a health navigator on board?
Yep.
He was here just a minute ago.
Yep.
He just left.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, but you can get him. He's right at our office every day.
And we might know the answer. What is your question?
Well, my husband lost his job a month ago.
Okay.
So I searched the internet. I wasn't sure what to do because he lost his health insurance also. No,
Right.
I don't need it. I'm on Medicare. He's not old enough for Medicare. So what I came up with was on the NewYork.gov, the essential.
Essential plan.
Pardon?
Essential plan.
Yes. I filled out all the paperwork on it, the application. He has no patience for this, so I did it. It is so ambiguous. The questions I found, are very ambiguous. Some of them you can't answer. Some of them disappear. Go to and there was one spot on there where it said about income, and they had on there where he worked, but it said receiving this income or.
Okay, but let me hang on, Ellie.
Sure.
So he isn't working there anymore, right?
No.
Okay, so besides, now is he getting unemployment? Did he get another job?
Well, that's the other thing. He applied for, no, he doesn't have another job. He applied for unemployment, but he hasn't heard anything. Yet one of the questions are you receiving unemployment? Well, he had to put no, although he...
Do you know how much he's supposed to get? Is he supposed to get, what, $405 a week or $420 a week?
How much was he making?
How much is he supposed to get a week? $420?
Oh, $425, I believe.
All right, $425. All right, and you have Social Security, right?
I do, yes.
And no other source of income.
And you included your Social Security on the application, right?
Right.
Did. I also added, and it wasn't on there until the last time I checked. And,
So, Ellie, how much are you getting in Social Security?
$1,029.
Okay, so they're going to qualify for.
And I also have $30.
You're going to get your health insurance for free.
No, they're not.
Pretty close. 1,029.12 says 12,000
plus 400 times 20.
Well, they're
20 weeks.
So that's 8.
He
okay,
made.
so there's 20,000, but they'll qualify for the silver plan, right?
Yeah.
She
they'll
already
get the 20. They'll
She
do
already
the 20.
has Medicare.
All right, what you need to do, Ellie, is
that's
call our office.
Eddie.
Oh, there's Tim.
Wait, Tim Eliason is coming down the pike. All right, if we have somebody making $20,000, Tim, what will they get? The $20 a month, insurance. They only have $20,000 a year to live on.
No, they're counting
husband and
Okay,
wife.
she already has Medicare. He doesn't.
She's
He
got
lost
Medicare.
his job.
He just lost his job.
Esther, they're counting
31,000. They could actually be below 31,000.
And so they'd get everything free.
From January
At 20,000, yes, they'd still have the essential plan, but zero premium.
All right.
If it was at near 30,000, they'd be paying $20 a month.
All right.
Ellie, are you hearing this?
So the whole thing's going to hit you either from $0 to $20. Call Tim on Monday, 632-7886, and we will help you, and there's no charge.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie pie. Thanks, Tim.
632.
That was Tim Eliason. He's our healthcare navigator.
632-7886.
All right, let's do our last call here before we have to break. Okay, and we have John. Hey, John. I'm Esther Golias. How can I help you?
Yeah, Esther, my wife and I were both in our 80s collecting on a traditional IRA.
All right.
Wired minimum distribution every year. Our ages are 4 years apart, and my wife is as a beneficiary. Should I pass on and not have taken out the IRA for this year? Would she take out the minimum? Have to take out my minimum distribution at my percent rate, or would she take it out at her percent rate, being 4 years younger?
I believe it goes by the surviving person who inherits
age.
the
Right.
IRA.
Right.
It would be the surviving.
Right.
That.
Are you critically ill, John?
Say again?
Are you critically ill?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No. It's just
Just a
good question. A really good question.
Okay, so if she inherits it, she'll inherit it, and her RMD will be based upon her age.
Her age.
her age, right?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And Tim, does a real quick question on what's the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medicare?
Medicare Advantage and Medicare.
Well, Medicare is the health insurance portion, right?
Right. That's what I'm on.
And Medicare Advantage is the copay.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So yeah, your Advantage is what you're going to pick up. You know, you have Part A through your Social Security, Part B, your option, and then your Advantage and your supplemental are those things that pick up your premium and fill your holes and your gaps.
Right. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, John. And anytime anybody needs any help, Tim is right here at a corporate office, can call anytime. There's no charge for anything that we do from a planning standpoint, right?
Right.
Okay, should we go quickly to some other call here?
Sure, we'll go to Ed
in Tonawanda. Hey, Ed, how can we help you?
Oh, I have a question relative to gifting money to your children.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose you gift, what is the limit, $14,000 per year?
That's right.
Okay,
per person.
you can give, Ed, as much as you want. But if you give $14,000 or more, then you have to file a gift tax return. That's the only difference. So let's say this year I get real generous and I give my daughter $100,000. Then I have to do a gift tax return, and I exclude $14,000 from the $100,000, and the $84,000 that I gave her, adjust the unified exclusion upon my death, so it goes from $5.5 million down $84,000. So if I don't have a $5.5 million estate, then there's no tax liability.
Right, but my question, Esther, is this: suppose you give your son or daughter $10,000, and 3 years down the line, you develop a catastrophic illness, and the state, I guess there's a look back of 5 years as
right.
the state is concerned.
As long as you have enough money to cover the remaining 2 years, they will not go back after your daughter for the money.
Right.
They will not go back. Okay,
right.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Thanks a lot.
All right. I'm Esther Goulias, the tax lady from EG Tax. 803. Oh, we're not going to take any more phone calls. If you need us during the week, 632-7886 is our phone number at the office. Our website is egtax.com. We're going to skip out a little early. I have to take an early break, but we're at the Financial Super Forum here at the Millennial Hotel. Until next week, I'm Esther Goulias with Christopher Fabian and Tiffany Fabian. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.